Silent Hill, released in 1999 for the PlayStation, set a new level of scariness for video games. Other games in the horror genre relied on jump scares to make the game scary, but not unnerving. When Silent Hill came along, it brought the next generation of fear. The game revolves around Harry Mason searching for his daughter, Cheryl, in the creepy, deserted, and foggy hell town of Silent Hill. While on his way to Silent Hill for a vacation, he swerves to dodge a figure standing in the road, in turn crashing his car. When he awakes, his daughter is nowhere to be seen. The game only gets scarier from there. From a broken radio that emits static whenever an enemy is near, to the fear-inducing chase of skinned children lunging at you with kitchen knives, there's never a peaceful moment. But the creature's not the only scary part of the game. Silent Hill has two worlds. One is a regular world, incredibly foggy, though not very threatening. The second world is absolute hell. The walls begin dripping blood and the floors turn to metal. More monsters lurk in the darkness, and it seems as if nothing is real. Albeit the dated graphics and somewhat clunky controls, the game gets beneath your skin and scares you in ways you never thought imaginable. We didn't think there would be a sequel to Silent Hill by the way that the first one ended, but there was. Silent Hill 2 was released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. The game dropped almost everything you knew about Silent Hill and gave you a brand new storyline. This one revolves around James Sunderland, whose wife died 3 years ago. He receives a letter from his dead wife telling him to meet him at their special place in Silent Hill. The graphics obviously got a massive update, which really added to the terror of the game. Since almost all of your light comes from a small flashlight, you don't see much, but what you do see is truly terrifying. And I mean terrifying. This game is not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for young people. This game is absolutely what nightmares are made of, and this game dives into more personal and sexual issues. Pyramid Head, while one of the coolest villains, earns the M rating for the game. Watching him raping and then brutally disposing bodies is definitely an unsettling feeling. But the scariness is not all the game has going for it. It has an amazing soundtrack. The sound adds so much to the game, adding scariness to the fearful scenes and emotion to the more dramatic scenes. The storyline is also one of the best aspects of the game. James is one of the most believable characters ever, and his story is unforgettable. In 2003, Silent Hill 3 was released for the PlayStation 2 and the PC. This game is a sequel to the first Silent Hill, so saying anything about the storyline is a potential spoiler. The graphics in this game were some of the best on the PS2 for their time. The monster design, while not as disturbing as the previous set from Silent Hill 2, were gruesome and unsettling. The soundtrack remained faithful to the series, delivering more of the creepy music we have grown to love. One thing added to the game was a level of difficulty. Silent Hill 1 and 2 gave you a good amount of health drinks and ammunition so you could stay alive. Silent Hill 3 isn't so generous, making you conserve a lot of your ammunition, leaving many enemies alive. This does add a lot to the tension level though, because this means there's not a save screen anywhere in the game. The game was woefully short too. The first two games took 10 or so hours to complete, but this game could easily be taken down in 5 to 8 hours. This is due to the removal of backtracking. Silent Hill 3 also marked the end of the fantastic Silent Hill games, and brought on the mediocre and the downright terrible too. In 2004, Silent Hill 4 was released for the PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. The game was originally going to be of a different name, and not of the Silent Hill series. Had it been left out of the series, it would have been a pretty good game, but tacking on the name of Silent Hill 4 dropped the game rating. For starters, the game doesn't take place in Silent Hill, but in a neighboring town. The game stars Henry Townsend, who gets locked in his room from the inside. He finds a hole in his bathroom, which he goes into, and finds this hole leads into some unnerving places. The game features nice graphics and good sound, an updated combat and control system, and a fairly emotional storyline. But what was wrong with the game? It just wasn't Silent Hill. It was more of an action game than a survival horror game. The game lost all of the darkness from the other games, replacing the flashlight with rooms with light bulbs in it. And for the most part, it lost the gruesome creatures, replacing them with ghosts. In 2006, Silent Hill Origins was released for the PlayStation Portable, and in 2007 was re-released for the PlayStation 2. The story revolves around Travis Grady, a man who pulls a severely charred girl out of a burning building. When he passes out from the smoke, he awakens in Silent Hill. This game is a prequel to Silent Hill 1, so again, the rest of the storyline could pose as a potential spoiler. The game, while returning to the dark and spooky town of Silent Hill, retained an action-heavy feel and an unwanted monster revival engine. In previous installments, when a creature was killed, it wouldn't come back to life. In this game, you kill a creature, leave the screen, and come back. It'll be revived. It was also significantly shorter than the other installments, only featuring 4 or so main areas to explore. The graphics were fantastic for the PlayStation Portable, but extremely disappointing on the PlayStation 2, about on the same level as Silent Hill 2 graphics. You could also pick up objects such as a TV, and you could use it as a weapon by throwing them at creatures. A good idea, but poor execution, because it felt as if you had unlimited amounts of space in your pockets. This wasn't a bad game, but it's not the best game either. The 5 Silent Hill games that have been released have been fairly well done, for the most part, despite some flaws in each game. This September, Silent Hill 5 Homecoming is being released for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. How will it compare to the others? Well, we'll find out in just a few months.